This on trail day number 98. It is Tuesday, September 29th of 2020, and I stayed the night here at the Safford Notch campsite. I had my hammock between that tree and that tree, and it is 8:30. So I was successful in getting up early, or well, early for me. I have 22 miles to do today to get to the shelter. It's like 3 miles from the Kennebec, so that I can get up in the morning and go catch the canoe. There's not much to this campsite. There's like a bigger area there. It looks like another one. Yeah, there's a tent platform up there. It was dark when I got here last night. There's another tent platform back there, had no trees, and a privy, but it's way off from here. And then the water is right there down that hill. It's not very far. It's not the best water source as far as volume, but it was pretty good overall. Definitely seen a lot worse. So I'm going to walk the 0.2 miles back to the AT, but I'm going to show you, there's kind of a cool rock cave you got to go through. So I'm going to show you that on the way out. So here's a boulder cave. At some point, side of the mountain collapsed. All these rocks come pouring down. I know, not that extravagant, but this would be the place to be in a thunderstorm now. So that's the trail I just came up, and that's the trail that I'm going up. So far, Little Bigelow's been, that first mile was a cruise, but hasn't really been anything strenuous. It's just all these rocks and roots are wet, so kind of have to watch your step. But almost to the top of Little Bigelow, and then it's supposed to flatten out all across for like a mile and then descend down. So once we get this little climb over here, we should be back to cruising along for a little bit. It looks like I have no views today. It's just clouds. Which I figured as much. It's supposed to start raining tonight. I checked the weather before I left camp. It's like a 30% at 9, and then it just goes up from there. And then rain all day tomorrow and the next day. So hopefully I can get to camp before it starts raining today, and then just bite the bullet and do 3 miles in the rain in the morning. But who knows? It might start raining at 2 o'clock today. So far, it's just as I hoped. Once I climb up to the top of Little Bigelow, that's a nice cruisy trail. I think there's one more tiny mountain between here and the destination for the day. I mean, it's only like 200 foot or something. I mean, it's a little. If it would just stay like what we were on for which it will be at the end of the day. For now, it's just going to be nice stretch, little climb, little downhill, nice stretch. Until we get across the top, and then it's downhill for a while. But it doesn't look like a steep downhill, so. But wet leaves, wet rocks, and wet roots on a downhill could be slow day. Who knows? Well, made it to the top of Little Bigelow. If it was a clear day, there's still no view. I think we got about another mile. Just cruising across the top of the ridge before we get to start going downhill. It's not raining, but all this moisture blowing in the air, condensing on the trees and stuff. Almost as bad as if it was. So now that I've come down in elevation some, starting to get some views down below the clouds. So I'm a little less than a mile from the Bigelow lean-to I wanted to get to yesterday. It's 11 o'clock. So I had guessed it'd take about 3 hours to get there. And it was much better to do it the daytime than it was at night, even though it wasn't super technical. A decent little view. I ran into some day hikers a while ago. They said, yeah, it gets pretty cruisy once you get down to the lake. I'm assuming this is the lake they were talking about. I don't know if you can see it just off in the corner there. So, kind of looking forward to that. So this is the Little Bigelow lean-to. I stopped here and had a snack. A nice little fire ring and benches. A wooden platform and tent spots over there. Not a bad little shelter. It's probably a privy somewhere, I don't know. And then the tubs are down there, I'm assuming like I guess that's the privy back there, I don't know. I'm assuming the tubs are like watering hole or swimming holes. So we got 17.7 miles to go. It's 12:15. There's two little uphills. One's about 3 miles away, and then the other one's right after that. The first one's a couple hundred feet. The second one's like 600 feet. And then this flat downhill, slow downhill from there to the Kennebec. So I'm going to get to the shelter a couple of miles from the Kennebec. I could take a side trail to Harrison's camp. I've heard the breakfast in the morning is outstanding, but I don't want to pay 40 bucks for a bunk just to stay the night, so I can get a 10-buck breakfast tomorrow. Because it'd probably be late in the day when I got there anyway, so I'll just stay at that shelter and save my money for across the river on my 0 day. Although if I can make good time, you can reserve a breakfast. You don't have to stay there, but you have to reserve it in person. You can't call them. So if the terrain is extremely kind and I get there in time, I might do that and reserve a breakfast. I don't know, that's 17 miles away. I'll change my mind 5 times before I get there. So right after the lean-to, we had a little bit of a downhill with some rocks and roots. And now we got this. Yeah, even I can make miles on terrain like that. They stole the bridge from the Army. No, Army surplus, I'm sure. That's the government reusing resources right there. Well, we made it down to the lake. I don't know the name. Let's see if I can find out real quick. It just says Rocky Beach. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can find out. Anyway, it's a pretty lake anyhow. So we made it over the first little climb. It wasn't too bad. It was just mainly like this, just kind of going uphill. I'm going downhill. And then I have my next little climb. And that's all the climbing for today. Oh, I'm sure there'll be like a little climb hill 20 foot here or there, but they always like to throw those in just so you don't forget what it's like. And once I get over the second hill, it should be pretty cruisy. That's what I keep telling myself. So I'm almost done with the second hill climb. Even though it was bigger on the profile, it was easier than the first one. I guess because it was just over more mileage. But 1.9 miles from the West Carey Pond shelter. I'm going to stop there. I got to get some water. I have one sip left. I'm about to drink that. So I'm going to stop there and take a break, have a snack, down a quart or two of water, and then push on to the next shelter, which would be about 10 miles. That water's flowing, but not very good. I'll just wait till I get to the shelter. Alright, downhill. So the hardest part of the day is now behind us. No more hills, or not of any significance. It's 3:30. Unless we can make a really good time at the end, it's definitely going to be dark. I don't want to get in too big of a rush, because even a nice grade like this, you step on a rock the wrong way or something and you're done. See, kind of like that. I've come too far to get in a hurry and do something stupid, like twist an ankle or something on relatively flat terrain. I just hope I can beat the rain. I haven't had cell service all day, so I don't know if the weather's changed. I'm sure it has, it always does. It'd be nice if the rain would hold off until I got ferried across the Kennebec and into a bunk room, and then it can just rain all at once. We'll check this shelter out here in a little bit when we get to it. So this is West Carey Pond. The lean-to is right up there, but I don't need anything from the lean-to. I just need water, so I'm gonna sit right here on the dock, filter some water and take a break, have a snack. One last lake view. Break time is over. I drank 1.5 quarts, and I got 2 quarts to go. 10 miles. 2 quarts should last the 10 miles. The 2 quarts I started the day with lasted 13. And this 10 is going to be easier than that 13, I hope. It is 5 o'clock. Sunset is at 6:30. It'll be dark by 7. Lean-to's that way somewhere. Little Bigelow lean-to, 7, oh, it's back the other way. Pierce Pond lean-to, 10 miles. So, I'm hoping to get there by around 9 o'clock. But depending on the rocks and the roots, it may be a little later than that. But that's alright. Like I said earlier, I'd rather night hike this kind of terrain than the Bigelows or any of the other mountains. And the last part of the day, I'm not sure when the towpath section starts. Knowing my luck, it'll just be the 3 miles in the morning. But whatever. Rocky, rooty like this, you still, even though it's level, can't go all that fast. I feel better now that I've chugged that water. So. We will get there today, that's all that matters. It's 10 minutes to 6, and have 7.5 miles to go. The part we just came over was a little rocky. It wasn't quite as nice as this, so yeah, that's good pace there. It was 10 miles at 5 o'clock. Yeah, without the rocks and roots, it'll go pretty good. There's still a few roots. At least the rocks, for the most part, is dwindled away for the moment. I just hope to beat the rain. It's clear skies at the moment. So. We've got a little wooden walkway. Oh, this is nice. I see moose tracks in the mud. I guess they don't like the walkway. Well, the sign there says that this is the AT going north. Oh my goodness. You couldn't ask for better terrain. So, I don't know how long I'll be lucky enough to have such terrain, but I'll definitely take it while I got it. Well, it didn't last very long, maybe a quarter mile. I guess they're planning on replacing some, they're putting in some more of these. I thought for shelter, maybe the second they were curing logs for a shelter, but those are walkboards. This is East Carey Pond, right on the trail. Got 6.4 miles to go. And 6:20. And there's 600 foot of elevation gain over that 6 miles. So it should be about like what we've been trucking along on. The water just looks so clean and inviting. It's been a hot day, but when I got water out of the other one to filter, it was like, yeah, it looks nice, but it wouldn't be nice. Sandy Beach Oasis. Could almost camp right here. I definitely have to come back and visit Maine in the summertime. Come back to some of these nice spots. So I'll stop for a minute on this log here in the middle of the trail, take a break. And have 5.5 miles to go. It's 5 till 7. It was getting too dark to see that transition period of, unless I turned on the bright white light, I wouldn't be able to see where I was going. So that's the last set of batteries I got. Put them in fresh today. It should get us the next 5 miles. I was almost tempted. There was a really nice campsite by the end of that lake to post up there. I think I could do 8 miles in the morning. But the closer I get today, the better. If no one's at the shelter, I'll put my hammock up in the shelter. And then I won't have a wet tarp I gotta deal with. But we're going to keep trucking on and try to not get lost in the dark. So we got another one of these wooden boardwalks. But the trail's been just nice. I'm 4 miles from the shelter. And it's 7:30. So I should be there by 9. I slowed down a little bit in the dark, but still making good time. If this thing was 2 miles long, we would do real good. But I don't think it will be. There's a critter over there. Maybe it moves, I don't know. Or it could have just been reflecting off some leaves. Be careful, somebody will be saying we're spotlighting or harassing the wildlife. So I'm 2.6 miles from the shelter and the rain has arrived. Stop, threw the pack cover on, deployed the umbrella. I'm using the medium weight light because all these roots and stuff are going to get slick. Just a lovely day on the AT. So I guess since it's 8:30, yeah, we'll be there 9-ish something. So I guess since we're that close, I'll call it a day on this video. Probably won't make one for the 3 miles in the morning. I mean, it just wouldn't be nothing to it. I can't film crossing the Kennebec because I get you to help paddle. So I will just resume this on the north side of the Kennebec in a couple of days after I rest up a little bit.